And then just wet my brush a little more and just blend out everything to make sure it's all smooth. And another thing is that I don't put foundation on my nose or like up here. And that's because I have like some blackheads. And when I put foundation on top, it just sits on top of them. It doesn't really blend well. And it looks very cakey. So I don't put it around this area right here. It just, I mean, I don't think I need foundation on my nose anyway. So I just go like this and just skip that area because it doesn't look good there. Now for the dark circles under here, I use a sort of salmony concealer. This is the color that I use. And it can be anything. This is, I got this from the dollar store, from the beauty supply store for $1. Just anything that's salmon. And I'm gonna put that under my eye and kind of melt it, so very creamy. Just put that under my, on the dark circles area. And here is when I use my foundation brush to blend this up. And I don't really like using concealer brushes for concealer because I just like the bigger brush because the job is done quicker and all. I like using the concealer brush for cream products, cream eye products like paint pots, cream eyeshadows, stuff like that, or foiling eyeshadow. So I just apply that well and blend. Next, what I do is I take a really light concealer, like this light. Let me just, that's how light it is. And I use this as sort of a brightener, an eye brightener. Just any light concealer, even if it's super light, just use it lightly. And I put this right under there as well and just blend with my foundation brush. And when I blend, I don't really rub, I just like pat it in. This really brightens up the eye and wakens me up. Not literally, but makes me look more awake, even though I still feel tired. And then I like to draw a line right where the dark circle ends and meets the normal color skin, and then draw a line right there, and then that line just smooth it out like this. And it helps further with the brightening effect. Then I just run some over my eyelid just to like tone down the darkness. I don't really worry about the darkness up here because either I cover it with eyeshadow or I just leave it. I don't really mind it. Next, what I do to set all these cream products, I take some translucent powder. I just use a CoverGirl one. You can use any. Translucent powder is translucent powder, no matter what kind. And the stippling brush, it's now dry, still a little wet, it doesn't matter. And this is my powder, and I just dip it in and then swirl it in the brush, in the cap. Again, I'm just going with the tips around in circles to set all the creams. If you don't set the cream, it will just melt. But if you set it with a powder, it locks it in for the rest of the day. Or hopefully for the rest of the day, right? You might have to touch up a bit though. And translucent powder means that it has no color. Translucent, that's what it means, is see-through. And that means that it's good for any skin color. Even though it's like this light, it works for me, and it will work for somebody darker because it's translucent. Next, I take, to set my concealer under my eye, I take a matte light colored eyeshadow. Any matte, it could be even like a face powder, but it has to be like lighter, just so it can like brighten up again. Like the concealer was lighter, so the eyeshadow is lighter than my skin tone. And I usually apply this with my fingers but I'm just taking a brush right now, just a big brush, and then I just press it in to the concealer and then just fluff it up. This is gonna help my concealer last longer, not crease, and it's gonna brighten my eyes because it's a light colored eyeshadow. You can put some up here. I'm not gonna do that though because I'm gonna do my eyeshadow after I finish this, so yeah. And I'm even gonna put some on my cheekbones to highlight. So that is what we have so far. Like, well, too far, a little bit too far. Can you tell the difference between this side and this side? Big difference. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to contour my face. And for this, you just need to use a darker than your skin color matte powder. It doesn't have to be a powder. It could be a cream, liquid maybe even. Just darker than your skin tone and matte. Matte meaning no shimmer. This is just NYX blush and taupe. And then I just use a fluffy brush. Angled blush would be better though, but this is what I got. And contouring is basically making the shades appear darker to enhance your features. So like when I stuck my cheekbones in, you can kind of see a shade there, and that shade makes my cheekbones look higher. So I want to make that shade darker to make my cheekbones look even higher. So I'm just gonna do that. You suck in your cheeks and then just go on that line up to your hairline. Now I don't know if you can tell, but there's more of a shadow on this side than this. Like this side looks thinner than this side. And I'm also gonna take some of that and put it right here on my jawbone. Work it down my jawline and put some down here. And how this works is that, you know how when you wear black clothes, supposedly you look thinner, and when you wear white clothes, you look fatter? Well, that's the same thing with contouring and highlighting. Dark powder, when you want to hide something, you want to hide this space right here so it sucks in and makes your cheekbones look higher. Your jawbones, if they're too wide, you want to hide them so you make them darker. They look less wide. If you have some fat down here, you can hide that. I also put some around the highest point of my forehead right here, and then just bring it down my temples. So if your face is too square or whatever shape, the ideal shape is oval face. So if you just contour all around your face like this, it will create more of an oval shape to your face. So I just put some right here, down the sides. Sorry if the sun is blinding you. And then right there. You can also contour your nose right here to make it appear thinner. But I don't do that because I just don't want to. So, wow, is the sun blinding you? Because it's blinding me. Now maybe you can start to see a difference. Maybe not. I hope so. So now what I'm going to do, this is my concealers are melting. Now I'm going to apply blush. I'm basically just doing my face today, and I'm using MAC Hello Kitty Tippy blush, which is just like a hot pink. Sorry if I'm squinting, but the sun is like really blinding me and I'm sweating. It's not cute. But I'm just picking that up with a fluffy blush brush. And since this is a really pigmented bright blush, I'm going to start off lightly. So I'm just gonna like dab it on first, and after what's on the surface is applied, I start working it in. And I apply my blush differently every time I do it, just because I don't know, it's how I'm feeling. Sometimes I just do a line, you know, not a line, but just like diagonal. Sometimes I bring it up to here. It all depends, I guess, how I'm feeling that day. But again, pretty bright blush, so I go lightly with it. Today I'm going up to my temples a bit, putting some on the apples right there. It kind of looks like a clown on camera, but I don't know why, because it looks really subtle in real life.